What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be making a windmill cube tutorial. This is one that I haven't actually seen requests for yet, but I have it and I know how to solve it, so I thought, hey, might as well do it. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Before we get too far into this tutorial, you will need to know how to solve the 3x3, and I will be referencing algorithms that I used in that video, and those will not be shown in this video, so go check that out if you don't know how to solve the 3x3. So first thing we're going to do, just like solving regular 3x3 with beginner's method, is we're going to get the edges to be in the white cross. So there's one catch. I can't just put this here because we also have to orient these centers so that they match up with this. So this is fine. So I'm just going to move it out of the way to something that's not solved yet, move it to where it belongs, and make them line up just like this. So I'm going to keep doing that for another one. So here's green, for example. So I'm just going to line it up to what green is now. Make sure that that's lined up. And now when I flip it, it will be lined up. So now I have two. Moving on to the third now, we're going to do orange next, I guess. So I'm going to put orange in the bottom layer. We're going to look at this. Redo that. And now we have those lining up. So there we go, and now we have the final one, which preferably is done on the bottom layer like those other two that I had just done. So right here, what we're going to do is first put it onto the bottom layer. Then take this, and how it's already lined up, that's good. So now we can pull it up here. So that is the white cross. So for this video, I will not be using F2L, even though I know how to, because the only requirement I'm having is that you know how to solve it using the beginner's method. So for the corners, what we're going to want to do is take each corner and just put them in like normal. So you're going to hold the cube like this, because this is how it would be if it was in the general shape of a 3x3. And just insert them just like on a 3x3. Now that's incorrect. You want it to be on the same side. So how this is green and that's green, that means those will go together just like that. It gets a little confusing because things like that, but you get used to it. You just line it up with the edge. So whichever one goes here is going to be that one, because that one has red and that's the red edge. So I'm just going to put that in like so. Now this one's orange. Moving right into there. Now we have one more, and that one's going to be blue. You don't have to memorize which ones fit in. You can just check it as you go, but it's easy to remember, so you might as well. So here's the white side done. So there you go. Moving on with this tutorial, we're now going to do the middle layer on a 3x3. So what we're going to want to do is look for these edge pieces. When they're rotated vertical like this, we're going to put them to this side and then do your middle layer algorithm. And that works. Now if they're oriented more like this, where they're not vertical, you're going to put it to the other side, because that's its slot. Now we line it up and it goes in. So this is still exactly like solving the 3x3 so far. I'm going to do orange now. And finally for blue. Okay, there we go. So now we're done with the middle layer. Next, as we would do with the beginner's method, we're going to solve the yellow cross. So we're going to use the same exact algorithm. Still nothing has changed. So in this case, just that. And you should know the other cases because you should know the beginner's method. So that's the cross. So next, what we're going to do is where we start to differ a little. So we're going to use an algorithm. I'm going to put it on screen in a second. That will show you where it's going to line up the edges pretty much. So what we're first going to want to do is see if we have any two edges that will match their centers that are right next to each other. That doesn't. But this does. So this is one of two cases you can get. In this case, you're just going to want to do the algorithm. I'm going to write that down. So what this algorithm is going to do is switch the places of these two edges. That algorithm is R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, and R prime. So using that algorithm now, I'm going to line it up again. So what we're going to want to do is look for those two solved edges. We're going to put them on the right and back face. So these should be front and left, and then use that algorithm. And then we're going to turn it once, and you've lined up all the edges. So the second case you can get, so if you give me a second, let me set it up. So we have edge solved edge is where you get no edges solved. This should be, or like when you have edges across. So this lines up and this lines up, or this lines up and this lines up. So what you're going to want to do for that is first just do your algorithm anywhere you want, and then just line up your edges like we did before. So there we go, we got those two. And then we're just going to do that first case again. There you go, now you've done your edges. Next, to solve the yellow side, we're going to do that just like we do in the beginner's method. So right here I have the diagonal case. So now I got my 3. Now this time I got lucky and I got it solved, but that's because I got some skips. So what you would normally have to do after, if you give me a second to do this, is first you're going to now ignore the edges. You know that they will always stay in their correct orbit anyway. So if we look at this, we're going to want to now look at the corners and see if we can get them to line up in some places. There are going to be a couple of different cases for this. Like, there we go. So that corner and that corner line up. And then these two corners need solving. If, for instance, these two corners didn't line up, first you would just have to do the corner switching algorithm that you would learn from my video. So it's kind of like the other case. So we're just going to do that over here to line up these corners, which would bring us to this. So this is one of two cases you can get after this step. The other case would be it being solved. So what we're going to want to do here, I don't believe I showed it in the beginner's method video, but the algorithm is going to be M2, U, M2, U, M2, U, M2, U, M2. I'm pretty sure that's enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, yeah. All right, U, M2. So now what we're going to do here is do that algorithm, M2, U, M2, U, M2, U, M2, U, M2, U, M2. Then you just do whatever move you have to do to complete the solve. And there you go. You now know how to solve the windmill cube. Okay, this part of the video you really don't have to stay for, but I did want to have a quick chat about a couple things. First of all, I'm sorry for not producing videos that often. Sometimes I have trouble just remembering or getting myself into the mindset of I need to do this. I'm going to start to try and produce videos once a week. I'm sorry if that doesn't happen. Then next order of business, live streams. So I'm going to be trying to do a couple of live streams. One of our most recent one went wonky, and that's why I haven't done one in a little while. So we were streaming Jackbox, and some people decided to join and be racist, and not jokingly, but actual racism. Now this was before all the shootings and stuff, but just rude words that I'm not going to mention here, but don't use them. That's going to end streams, so just don't do that. Don't do that to me or any other producers, because that means I'm going to have to end the stream, delete everything, and total chaos breaks out. So I'm probably not going to be doing another Jackbox stream for a little while because of that, but I mean, I can get like Minecraft and other things up just fine, so I'll try and maybe do those once a week just so I'm not bogging myself down too much because I have other stuff in the world that I like to do other than this. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on. So don't expect a video once a week because clearly I'm bad at following a schedule, but I'm going to try to do that. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys.